Peter, you scolded, stay where I can see you. You walked down the street. Your son was running ahead of you. He was such a bundle of energy. They rounded the corner. You shook your head. He had taken after his father in the most mischievous ways. You missed Arthur terribly. He had gone to take Matthew and Alfred to college. You had to stay behind due to having Peter with you. You smiled and looked down at your hand. A glittering ring shone on your finger. When Arthur proposed, it was one of the most awkward, embarrassing, but tender moments of your life. The two of you had gone out for dinner. Francis even babysat that night, trying to be a part of Matthew's life without taking over the role of a father figure. Arthur had taken you to the park to propose, and he had tripped into the fountain. As you reached down to help him out, he thrust out the ring box. You jumped in, shouting, yes, the moment the words tumbled out of his lips. 12 years has passed since then, and you had three children, Matthew, Alfred, and Peter. You should. Daddy! He squealed. Huh? You turned to find Peter was hugging someone in the back of a crowd. The boy's laughter was contagious. You would have thought he hadn't seen the man in years, not just a few hours. The crowd parted so you could see the man. A bright smile lit up on your face as you took a step towards Arthur. You quickly rushed over to see him. Surprises like this made your day, always made your day. Despite many people telling him otherwise, he was a very romantic when he wanted to be, even after he had aged. Now he was a professor at one of the colleges nearby. Alfred and Matthew wanted to go to different colleges, and since Matthew had got a full ride to one, and Alfred got a sports scholarship to another, as their parents, you and Arthur had to let them do as they wanted. Everything go okay? You whispered. Your husband nodded. He was never very emotional about things, but you could tell it was hard to let his sons go so soon. It was a parental thing where these were your little babies, the ones you fed and nursed when they were ill and tucked in at night and told them bedtime stories, helping them with homework and dating problems and other things like that. They were your children. Arthur was smiling if he hadn't seen you as if he hasn't seen you in years. Before you knew it, you had been drawn to a hug by him by two with two pairs of arms around you. Peter's and Arthur's. Tears landed on you, and there was no way to tell where your tears started and where your family's mixed with yours. You couldn't have been bothered with the fact that you had an audience. This was the happiest you had been in years. I'll miss them, he whispered. So much. Me too. But they're just at college. They're growing up. Arthur gave a rich laugh, and he pressed his forehead to yours. He let Peter slide down. The boy was getting too heavy to lift anymore, and Arthur's back wasn't exactly what it used to be. He had aged since you first met. His hair had signs of gray flicking through the blonde. His hairline had receded just a little. He still looked fit, but only because he would go running in the mornings. Alfred teased his father about his feminine tendencies, meaning his knitting and the way he had to have tea like water. Gray lines were visible on his face, and he looked older, but that was to be expected. You were the same way. You would never change these past years for the world. Alfred would never grow up. Very true. You agreed. At least Matthew turned out okay. And scene. And yeah, that has been Daddy Dearest England X Reader or listener rather, at least in this, setting. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this series. I'm really sad to like put it to rest, but we have to, good things, all good things come to an end. And I'm really grateful for the few of you who supported this series, who commented and even liked. I really appreciate it. So my next uh video will be a Bakugo X Reader, and I hope you stay in tune. Stay tuned for that. Yeah, English. Sorry. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.